And in this particular episode, I am delighted to introduce you to our guest, Raewyn Weller, all the way from New Zealand. Welcome, Raewyn. How are you?
Great, thank you, Trish. And thank you for this opportunity to be able to share my passion with your audience.
Absolutely delighted to have you here. So before we get into our really great conversation, because there's a lot of things I think that Raewyn has got to share, let's find out a little bit more about her. So Raewyn's business, your health is your greatest wealth. Love that. So we're going to be delving into a little bit more about that. Raewyn is the author of Your Health is Your Greatest Wealth, a self-help book, Jan's Dash, a biography of her sister, and co-author in The Wealth Garden and Mum's the Word. And there's a few more there, and we're going to discuss those more in depth. Living in the Bay of Plenty in New Zealand, Raewyn is a public speaker, belief and energy clearing practitioner, a life success consultant, holistic energy healer, a rapid transformational therapy practitioner, and works of bioenergetic healing frequencies. And I'm sure somewhere along that line, Raewyn has time to enjoy herself. Somewhere there. Very busy lady. Her claim to fame is being a graduate of the School of Life. Having studied and practiced many different healing techniques, Raewyn uses the most appropriate for each individual, working with mind and body. Starting her working life nursing, Raewyn went on to create businesses for self and community, was a local body politician, a business mentor, and had government appointments. She has worked with children in Zimbabwe and India. Her passion is empowering people, giving them tools, teaching them to help and to heal themselves. Awesome to have you here, Raewyn. I don't think, and I'm pretty sure, we are going to have enough time to delve into every single thing that you have done in your life. So we're going to just have to touch on the high points. So let's just start very quickly. All of those things, where have you come from? How have you got to here? Just really brief, touch the highlights. I know it's not going to be enough time. I just know it.
I've walked down many paths in my short life and travelled many roads, and I could talk for hours. But yeah, as you say, I'm a graduate of the School of Life. That is my claim to fame, being a graduate of the School of Life. I went to school to eat my lunch, and I've written all the books that you mentioned or co-authored in them. So that tells everybody that anyone can do it.
Awesome.
You don't have to be a great scholar to get out and tell your story. I'm just so grateful for all of the people that I have learnt from. And that includes my clients, my family, my friends, and so many gurus out there that I've studied, and it's just built up over the years. People say, oh, when did you start healing? And basically I said, most probably the day I was born. We are all healers, and everybody can heal themselves. These hands are electromagnetic, and everybody can heal themselves. And what I love to do is to teach people how to do it themselves. And that's what I've studied for years now. I've studied many different people, Qigong and quantum touch, and I started Reiki, and I thought, no, that's just the same as all the others. Everything is energy. And so with the rapid transformational therapy, that's hypnotizing people and taking them back to the cause of their issues, and then working them through it, and then doing a recording so they listen to it and change that neuro pathways in their brain so that they can actually stop doing or thinking or whatever's happening in that little filing cabinet in their subconscious mind. So that's an interesting one. And then I've got the little Healy device. So, and it keeps building up. And if something new comes in, I look at it, and I do voluntary work at a in a healing centre, a multicultural healing centre in our little town. And people often say, what do you do? And I say, whatever you need, darling, because everybody needs something different. Let's face it, most things start from the mind. And so once you start talking to people, you soon find out what they need. And my biggest thing, as I said, is to give people the tools to help themselves. Hence my book, Your Health is Your Greatest Wealth. And this has been an amazing tool for me to be able to give people, because I can't be everywhere all of the time. Hey, I'm in my 70s, and who says you're meant to retire in your 60s? So I don't think I ever will, because I just love helping people, to empowering people to help themselves.
I mean, that's awesome, because I have a mentoring client who was having a little bit of an existential blowout at the moment, thinking she was too old to go and audition for a choir. And I said,
You're never too old for anything.
no, you're not. And this is awesome to have you here sharing that viewpoint, because we have this little block in our head, don't we?
We do.
Society gives us all these different ages at which we're supposed to have achieved or done this. And then when you get to a certain, okay, goodbye, you've done all that. And no, no.
You take the best of everything. Everything is a learning lesson.
Yeah.
There's nothing that happens without a reason for it. There's a lesson in it. Whether nothing's big or small, bad or good, unless you compare it against something else. So everything just is. And when someone has an accident, here's a good one, and that's I went and worked with a lady to help a lady who had broken a leg. She was well in her 70s. She might have been in her 80s, I think. And I said, oh, did you ask for a break? And she started off, oh, my husband's been promising me, and he won't take me on a break. And and all of a sudden she stopped. And she said, whoa, I've created this, haven't I? And I said, yes, you have. You tell me. And she said, I have, goodness. And so many things. I know of a child who didn't want to go into athletic sports. And he climbed a tree that morning and fell out and broke his arm. He was the happiest kid there ever was, because he didn't have to go to athletics. So, things, there's no such thing as an accident. We create our lives. And that's really hard for some people to actually accept, that we create our lives. So, it's a big jump when they actually realize, they get that aha moment and think about how they're thinking. The main message in my book is the words you say and the pictures you create in your mind create your life.
Absolutely brilliant. I love that. People,
good or bad,
stop, rewind, and listen to that again, because Raewyn has just given you an absolute gold nugget. If you get nothing else from this, you need to understand that it is the foundation of what we do. And when we own that, we become extremely empowered. We really do. Awesome. I love that. So how did Raewyn get through up to where she is now? Because I noticed you went on to create, you started nursing. It's amazing how many people start nursing. It's amazing. I get to talk to them. So you went from nursing to creating businesses to a politician.
I have done everything. I've owned an employment agency. I worked with you said earlier that I was a life success consultant. I went to America and trained with Bob Proctor's group when The Secret came out, and became a life success consultant with him. What I've done is just take everything that resonates with me and used it and put it all into, it's all in here anyway. Everything's in that filing cabinet. So when I need it, I just ask for it to jump out. That's another good lesson for you. You often think, what was that person's name? Or where are the keys? Where did I put those keys? And we start thinking, and get frustrated with ourselves. Can you recognize that?
Yeah. Oh, yes, we do that all the time.
What we do, we're thinking in our conscious mind, and we're getting in the way. We're blocking where all the information is in our subconscious mind. So what you do is you say, hang on a moment, it'll come in a minute. Go do something else, think of something else, and within a minute, generally, you've got the answer.
Absolutely. I get that.
Get out of your own way.
I'm telling
Yeah.
my husband that all the time. Because he cut him. I said, just stop, think of something else. You'll remember it. And it does. So now I can tell him, I've got validation for that. I've got this awesome lady from New Zealand who just said exactly the same. So you better listen to me. Okay. Awesome. Look, of all the things that you've been doing, and it's brought you to here, and I love that because that's life experiences. When I talk with my mentoring client, I say, what you bring to now is all your life experiences, all your expertise. It's what you bring to now. So let's have a look a little bit at what you're doing now as helping people with the healing techniques. How do you let people know where you are? How do they find you?
My biggest thing is being me, and just getting out there, and word of mouth is the biggest thing. When you can actually work with people, I've worked with people in Austria and Australia and America and the UK, all over the world. And so if you actually do a good job with somebody, then they're going to refer. And I think that is the best way. Okay, when I published my book last year, I set up a Facebook page called Your Health is Your Greatest Wealth. So anyone can just go on there and have a look if they want to. I've got a website called raewynweller.com. I'm not very good. I'm not very good with LinkedIn and Instagram and all of those. And I'm going to be a co-author on another book coming up shortly, and we're going to be getting a bit of training in that. So hey, maybe this non-techie lady might just get somewhere a little bit further with that. But most of it's been my own footwork and getting out there and asking people. But generally, when someone buys one of these books, they come back for 2 or 3 more for friends and family.
Awesome. And I think that leads me to the next question, because we were talking a little bit before we started on the recording, was all about books, because about legacy, about what they can do. And I think what you just led into is part of the way you've done with your word of mouth is because of the books that you've got and how you've leveraged them. So do you want to share a little bit about the books you've got and then how they have worked for you?
Okay. I started off in 2007. I was in an organization called Excel, and Mother's Day was coming up, and a whole lot of mothers, it was actually an Australian lady that got us together on this one, and Vanessa Sunday, got us together, and there were a whole lot of us wrote our stories about when we started working with our children, and how we got on with bringing up kids. And I've got 3 kids, 5 grandchildren and 5 great grandchildren. So so that's when that one came in, and there's about 10 of us in that. Okay, and then another one called the Wealth Garden. This one was one that I don't know whether you know Roger Hamilton and Excel group, but you did profiles to say what you were around it, for businesses, etc. And I was the self-esteem queen in this one. So that was showing that I used to have a very low self-esteem as a child, very frumpy, I just didn't feel clever. As I said, I went to school to eat my lunch, never felt really good about myself, even as I got older. So this showed that once I did my profile and realized that I'm a star supporter in this, that I'm meant to be out there, then that actually changed my life considerably. It helped me get out there and realize that, hey, I have been holding my own self back with past, what do you call it, baggage?
Yeah.
We have so much baggage we carry, and if you don't let it go, you're stuck. So that's a big one. And then my sister passed away in 2000, and she was a chronic diabetic. And when she was very sick, I said, look, you've got to write some stuff down. Well, she was blind more or less, so she worked with a CCTV, and she wrote a little bit down, but not much. And that's actually where I was brought up on the farm. And that picture, and that's my sister in a wheelchair with no legs, no fingers, almost blind, and she'd lived on mum's kidney for 16 years. So I actually ended up writing a book about her, mainly for family and friends, etc. And then this one came up with Are There Earth Angels? This was for this old lady. She was a teacher in the wartime, not far from where I'm living now, and she was an artist, and she had so much. She used to write stories, and she had so much in her that I could not let her go doing it. She painted that to her grandchildren, and she was such a beautiful lady, so I did that for her family more. So you won't find that one in the bookshops anywhere. Mainly what these have done for me is to build my confidence and show, hey, you can do it. You can do it. It doesn't matter where you come from, what money you've got or haven't. I just say to me, everything comes to me as I need it. Money, love, food, anything I need comes to me. And the more you say that, the words you say, the pictures you create in your mind create your life. So that is proof.
Awesome. I think that's a gold nugget too, because people get caught up in writing these books. They've got this block saying they can't write a book, and everybody can. And I think what you've brought out from this is this. Yes, if you've got a business, it goes with credibility, but it also brings out for you. It builds your confidence, and when you've got confidence, that really overflows into everything else that you do. It's really awesome in that respect. Okay, what would you say would be the 2 tips that you've done for getting out there and being seen, letting people know who you are? What would your 2 top tips you'd like to share?
Be you. Be authentic and be you. Don't try and be someone else. You can't anyway. They're already all taken. So have a sense of humour because you relate to people and you draw people to you. If you've got high energy and you do a good job at what you do, you can't miss. Things come to you when you put it out there. I can't say go onto social media because I haven't done that too much. So, and I know that it's there, but I'm sick of seeing what someone had for breakfast on Facebook. And I go on, and there's just so much on there that I need to delete. And I think, oh no, anyway. But be you, be authentic, trust and believe in yourself, and things will come to you. Smile.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. A lot of people come to me and they're not well, okay? And I just say, look, smile. It changes the endorphins in your body and it actually releases happy hormones. And lots of, I can't smile. I say, okay, get a pen. Put it in your mouth. Number 1, you feel stupid, so you smile. And number 2, it actually tricks your body into smile that you're smiling. And it releases those endorphins and makes you feel happier.
Awesome. There's another gold tip, people, because I think, look, I've always say to my mentoring clients, a smile will get you out of 1,000 problems.
Oh, yeah.
Get your words, you forget what you're saying, you're not sure, you're scared about moving into a room, you just smile. People smile back at you and it just breaks the ice. It's really, really awesome.
Yeah. And you're giving to somebody and it's not costing you anything.
No.
Love it. Smile is free. You're giving.
So the fact that
and you're never too old. That's my other one. Never too young or too old. So just get out there and do it.
Oh, I also, because we do get these little blocks on ourselves and we think that we're too old to start, and you're never too old to start. The only time you're too old is when you're gone, and then it's too late. So you need to do it now.
The graveyards are full of they're the richest places in the world.
Yeah.
They have got so much information that has never been released.
Never been up there, for sure. Absolutely. So where can people get a copy of your book, Your Health is Your Greatest Wealth?
Okay, they can go onto my website, raewynweller.com. Especially in New Zealand and Australia, if you're over in the UK or US over the other side of the world, you're best to go to Amazon or any of the, it's on any of those sites that you can buy fish ponds. And so just Google me and you'll find it. Yeah, so UK, US, booksellers in New Zealand. Haven't really got them into too many in Australia at this stage. So go into the shops and ask them. I've got crystal shops and book shops and health shops all actually selling them in New Zealand. And if you go into a shop, ask for it, because some of them say, when someone asks for it, oh, stop it.
Yeah.
So go in and
Well,
ask.
let's start a motion of everybody ask for Raewyn's book. Now, that was one of the things I wanted just to bring out what you just said before, talking about your book and that, and being apologetic about not being on social media. And I don't want you to do that, because for you, where your people are and what works for you, and everything is different for everybody.
Everyone's different.
Your books, it's your speaking about it. It's you and your word of mouth and just saying to people, hey, this is who I am. And you take your books where you go with you everywhere. You talk about them all the time.
I've always got them in my car. Yeah, I spoke to a Rotary group last week. I've got a spiritual group next week. Many different groups that I go out and speak to, and I'm quite happy to do that anywhere in New Zealand at the moment, but I don't think I can go anywhere with this. At the moment, I won't even mention the word. No. What you actually concentrate, you get. What you concentrate on. So I don't even go there. I don't listen to the news. I'm afraid it's a little bit negative. And we need to eradicate all of the ants. Do you know what an ant is? Automatic negative thoughts.
Absolutely.
That's Dr. Armin's runs, and I always say eradicate those ants, because we have thousands of them every day, and usually the next day the same ones come along. So we just have to be careful about them.
For some reason, our brain just seems to give us the negatives pretty quick, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
Need to have a little talk with our brains sometimes and say, look, give me this negatives. Can I have some positive thoughts every now and then? I want the positives to come up. Much better. Yeah. And you ask. I'm getting the impression from one of the things that you do is you have the courage to get up and just say, ask people, will you have my books? Ask people, can I speak? I get that impression that that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Ask.
Yeah.
Ask.
And that's not easy for some people. Yeah. I know that. But look at the benefits of what I call 60 seconds of insane courage to step up and ask. And that's what's worked for you.
It has.
And putting the time and effort into having a book. So there is a benefit, people, there.
2 years in the making of that one. A lot of study, a lot of... one of the biggest comments I get is it's very holistic and it's common sense.
Good.
Easy to read, lots of tools in it. A lot about self-esteem, affirmations, clearing your energies, daily exercises to do. I do a bit of qigong every morning, work my lymphatic system and all my meridian points. They're in the book, my whole routine. So it's such an overall one, but let's face it, it doesn't matter what you do. You've got to go back to the basics. Good, healthy living.
And that's where we're just going to come from, because I was going to ask you, how important, from your perspective, is your health to what you want to do in your life?
Let's face it, your health is your wealth. If you've got plenty of money, your health's no good to you. And your health's not good. The money's no good to you, sorry, all back to front there. You've got to exercise your mind and body. I don't do doctors. I exercise, I rock and roll. I go for bike rides from 7 to 20 Ks over hills, and I'm in my 70s. So if I can do it, so can you. Build yourself up. Drink plenty of water, get the sunlight. yes, if you stay in it too long, it'll burn you, but you need the sun. It energizes you. Nature, get out in nature, bare feet on the beach, bare feet on the grass, whatever. It's beautiful. It grounds you. It's so good for you. But the biggest one is your relationships. If you have got bad relationships, and I mean not just your partner, but your family, your friends, your colleagues, if you've got toxic relationships, it would be one of the worst things that you can have for your health. It's really toxic for your health. So stay happy, keep smiling.
Absolutely brilliant. I love your outlook on life. And I think it's something, again, viewers, stop, rewind and listen to what Raewyn just said, because it is a very valuable component. Whether you've got a business, a book, whatever, you might just have one book written out, but you might have a full-on business, might be a good coach. This is a very integral part that we too often forget when we're looking at where we want to be in our success. Success has so many meanings, and really success should also include looking after yourself, because that's where it starts, doesn't it?
Oh, certainly, because your mind really affects your body, more so than your body will affect your mind. Everything starts with a thought. People with sore knees are usually a little stubborn. People with sore hips are worried about moving forward. I've been there, done that, and I've never had an operation in my life, and I don't intend to have one. But I thought I was going to have a hip operation when I left my husband, and I was going over to it's a big story anyway, but my hips were grinding and I thought I was having to have an operation, until I found out that it's all about moving forward. Shoulders, you're usually carrying the world on your shoulders. Everything is, your anger affects your liver.
Awesome.
Sadness can affect your kidneys, your lungs, the emotional, it all affects something in your body. So if you don't keep your lymphatic system clear, then you end up with a blockage in your sewage system. So you need to work it, play Tarzan and work your system. And and my book tells you that in the working with a daily routine. So everything affects you.
That makes a great deal of sense if you stop and think about it, people. It really does. And we seem to want to segment everything. We oh, we'll just look at that, the emotion up there. I can deal with that, but then I'll look at my business. But it really is. I mean, we're in one body. So how can we segment? How can it not be influencing each other?
One of my biggest tools that I give to people, and that is reprogramming your subconscious mind. Because let's face it, your body created itself. We started out as a sperm in an egg, joining together as a little cell, and we grew. Congratulations, you're a winner. You were the winning sperm. And keep a sense of humor. But our bodies created every part of us, and they know how to heal you. So it's reprogramming that subconscious mind. And in my book, I've got a reprogramming of the subconscious mind, and it works. It works on so many different things. It's amazing.
Brilliant. Listen to that. And that leads me to, you've got a freebie that you would like to give away, a little free gift as meditation.
We have the link of that. Actually, it is on my website as well, but it's a healing vortex.
Yeah,
you'll put that up for me.
Yep.
It's a healing vortex, and I can do it for myself even, but I've done it for so many groups of people and they love it, and individuals. But basically it's imagining a vortex above your head coming in, and it works like a broom, and it sweeps out all the toxic thoughts, memories, substances, anything toxic out of your body, and it goes down, and the top of it's healing. So you choose a color of the vortex, and it talks you through it until it goes down and you release them through the bottom of your feet. getting all of the toxics out of your body. And it's an amazing vortex.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because that's a
You're welcome.
very valuable. That people go and click. I have the link below. Make sure you go and click on that, because to have something like that that will help you to clear out all the stuff every now and then is something very valuable. So appreciate you sharing that with us. That's great. One other thing that you are part of is what we call this 1000 Ripple Effects book. And it's a group of people who've been sharing some of their stories. And that's another one that you've got, that you've done part of.
Yes, that was an interesting one. And that's to help teenagers to actually get through their issues. Let's face it, there's so many suicidal teenagers and things out there. They never think that life's going right for them anyway, teenagers. So it's just helping them with their self-esteem and things. So yeah,
that's something else to watch out for very shortly when it comes out. We could be here. We knew that we're going to be here for life, and so much wisdom and expertise and joy that you've got to share with everybody. We could have been here for ages, just exploring different.
I'd love to keep going, but maybe another time.
We'll have to do another time. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There have been so many gold nuggets that Raewyn has shared. And as I said, you can just stop, rewind, go back and listen, because there'll be little things that you hear the first time and then something that you will hear the second time that will do it. Especially, look, I love about books building your confidence. I think, that reinforces what is my belief as well. I love the fact about word of mouth, because you do that, and that's the best way of building relationships. Most specifically, I love what Raewyn shared about being yourself. We are all unique, so let's just be ourselves and share that humor and have joy. People, you've been watching Get Known, Be Seen WebTV. I'm your host, and it's my pleasure to bring this to you. Get Known, Be Seen WebTV has guests on who have decided that, wow, it's about time I let people know what I'm doing. You may have a book, you might have a new product, you might have a new business. You might have been in business for a while, but suddenly you think, I'm not reaching the people I need to. So I love to have you on a guest here as a guest on my show, so you can stand up and say, hey, here I am. This is what I'm doing. It's also a spot for my experts. I have guest experts that come on who share their techniques and their strategies and ways of helping you to get up there and be known and be seen. So if you'd like to be a guest on my show, there's a link below. Just click on that or connect with me and we can arrange a way for that. I'm Australia's leading expert in empowering introverts. I'm a creative business consultant, a multi-international award-winning mentor. I'm an international award-winning author of contributing author and co-author of 17 books, with a couple more coming out soon. Most specifically, my passion is helping you to step up and let people know who you are. You are the best person to speak about your business, the best person to speak about your book, the best person to speak about your message, the best advocate for you. So that's my passion, is helping you to do that and have that courage to step up and share it. Most specifically, I'm here as your host for Get Known, Be Seen Web TV. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure, before you go, click the subscribe button. It's a big, huge button. You can't miss it on the Web TV channel. Click that button and you will always be notified of when there's new interviews coming up. Interviews and guests like Raewyn we've had today. Until next time, be you, be unique. And most important, look after your health. Remember, it's part of who you are. And smile and have fun. Bye.
Bye.